Welcome to the channel, and in this video, I wanted to talk about the movie Blue Ruin, written and directed by Jeremy Saulnier. It's one of my favorite movies, and maybe in my top 10, but definitely in my top 20 films of all time. It was Saulnier's second film, with his first being Murder Party. Murder Party didn't perform well enough to give Saulnier the career in filmmaking he was hoping for, so he bet on himself and invested a lot of his own money into making Blue Ruin. Seeing it as his last shot to fulfill that dream he had when making films as a teenager, not only did he bet on himself, but he bet on his childhood friend Macon Blair to be the lead in the film. Macon and Jeremy became friends in middle school and made short films together. Macon was the perfect choice to lead this film because he just looked like a normal guy, which Jeremy wanted to differentiate the film from prototypical action stars, making it different from your standard Hollywood film, where this would more than likely star a Jason Statham type or insert any handsome young actor. Macon is an everyday man seeking revenge and isn't impervious and makes plenty of mistakes throughout the film on his mission to seek retribution. The premise of the film is that Macon Blair plays Dwight, a vagrant whose life was turned upside down after his parents were murdered, and when Dwight gets informed that the man who murdered his parents is being let out of jail, Dwight takes it upon himself to get vengeance, and not everything goes smoothly, and some revelations also come to light. Saulnier wanted to combine his love for 80s B-movies and art house films. He blends them together well, and unless you're expecting something akin to, Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando, you may be disappointed.
It's a party.
But if you look at it more like First Blood or Death Wish meets an indie drama, then you'll enjoy this movie too. This film was beautifully shot, and Jeremy was also the cinematographer on the movie. He and Macon shot test footage to show to investors and potential cast members to get them on board with the project, because you had a director with one movie to his name and a lead actor that had very little credits to his name as well. Both Jeremy and Macon felt the pressure they put on themselves, but they saw this as their last possible chance to make a film because they were both about to become fathers. Jeremy had gained more experience since his first film because he had become a cinematographer and learned more about what works and what doesn't when making an independent film. He also used his connections from those productions to get a couple of producers to board the project as well. That still wasn't enough, so the film went to Kickstarter to get the rest of the money they needed to meet their required budget. So they shot the film, and while they were editing it, they submitted their assembly cut to Sundance, and the film was rejected, unfortunately. That really was disheartening for everyone involved, but they continued working on it and submitted it again, but this time to the prestigious Cannes Film Festival. And to their surprise, the film actually got in, and Jeremy actually won an award there. The film was picked up for distribution, but it was picked up by Radius, which was a subsidiary of the Weinstein Company. Yuck. The film got a small release here in the States in 2014, but it had great word of mouth. I can't remember where I first heard of it, but I definitely remember watching it first on Netflix, and then I just immediately bought that Blu-ray. I don't have any negatives with the movie. The film moves at a great pace, and the tension never really dies down. Even the quieter moments are gripping, especially the diner scene where Dwight reveals to his sister what he had done. Macon delivers a gut-wrenching performance, and there's aspects to his character that I can really relate to. Depression forces me into isolation, and I find it really hard to confide in anyone. And that diner scene really highlights how lonely he's been since his parents were murdered.
I'm not used to talking this much.
Amy Hargreaves is great as Dwight's sister in the couple of scenes that she's in. Devin Ratray is really good in the movie, playing Dwight's old high school friend that he reunites with. Also helps train Dwight for the climactic finale.
Dun, 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 dun. It's A-Team guy, man, from the show.
The rest of the supporting cast were great. Kevin Kolak has a great scene where Dwight completely screws up interrogating him.
God damn! Fish in a barrel! Serve it!
Also, I just learned that one of the family members at the end is played by Eve Plum, who was Jan Brady from the Brady Bunch. The violence in the film can be brutal, but doesn't feel gratuitous. It's portrayed realistically, and with Dwight being an inexperienced assassin, things get pretty fucking messy. Like how he gets shot in the leg with an arrow, and he tries to tend to the wound himself, but reluctantly has to go to a hospital, where he passes out as soon as he walks in.
I had an accident on my leg.
Dwight is clearly fallible, where as opposed to something with The Rock or Vin Diesel maybe, where they seem so opposed to playing a vulnerable character, and they just can't be shown to have any physical wounds outside of a head scratch maybe. And Dwight isn't a proper hero. He makes mistakes that would only cause more harm to his loved ones, and he winds up atoning for them as well. This Blu-ray was put out by Anchor Bay back in 2014 and is unfortunately out of print and goes for an extremely high price on the secondary market right now. It's unclear where the rights to this film ended up after the Weinsteins liquidated their entire catalog of films. It seems like Paramount and Lionsgate have divided them up, and well, whoever owns these rights, I hope you put the movie back out for cinephiles and physical media enthusiasts like myself. If you have a Region Free player, then you can pick up the UK Region B Blu-ray at an affordable price. I'm not sure who owns the rights overseas, but I'm willing to bet this gets a 4K before it does here in the States. Luckily, 4K is a region-free format and will play on any 4K players wherever you're located in the world. This Blu-ray includes a nice informative making-of featurette that's just shy of 20 minutes. A lot of the info I got from this video comes from that featurette. It also has a really touching moment where Jeremy is asked of what his father would think of the success of the film, and Jeremy gets emotional since his father passed months prior to the film getting into the Cannes Film Festival. It got me to tear up, and for an aspiring filmmaker like myself, it motivated me, but give it a week and my insecurities and anxiety will put me back in the state of hopelessness. But this is a great story of people betting on themselves, and they actually fucking succeeded. Jeremy is still a working director, and he made my favorite A24 movie, Green Room. I love that movie just as much as this film, and I will be covering it soon, so stay tuned for that. Macon is still acting. I was stoked to see him as the Phantom Stranger in the Swamp Thing TV show, and he was recently in Oppenheimer. He's also gone on to direct. He made the movie I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore for Netflix. I really enjoyed that movie, and he also directed the remake of The Toxic Avenger, and it's supposedly finally coming out this year. Blue Ruin isn't a film I go back and watch all the time like all the schlocky B movies that inspired this film, but every time I watch it, I'm just reminded of how great this movie is and really reignites my love for film. I hope you enjoyed this video and check out Blue Ruin if you haven't seen it before. It's currently streaming for free on Tubi. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a movie time.